V. I want to go to V.
What up?
Hey, you're out. I'm so happy.
I know you are. I know you are. Football lost today. The football world lost today with this game.
No, just you did. Just you did.
And yet we're all so happy.
What went wrong? What went wrong, V? What went wrong? Because you dominated the game, but you had too many players that put in stinkers. What went wrong tonight?
Well, first I'm going to start by saying I'm actually very, very proud of what City did with regards to Champions League. I know, Terry, you often say you're expected to be here. Listen. This competition's the toughest in the world. Real Madrid are no slouch, and to be up against them, 14 UCLs, I knew it was going to be difficult. I'm disappointed with how we went out with the penalties. If I'm going to criticize the players, I think this is Champions League. Things are wonky. Things don't necessarily go to plan. As dominant as we were in the shots that we took, they weren't on target, which was unfortunate. Did Real Madrid look to their level as well? I'd say no, but this game should not have happened in the quarterfinals. This is why I'm saying football lost. This is a finals. Big, heavy hitters like City and Real Madrid should be in the finals, not in the quarterfinals. So this is how football lost. And again, I know about the football gods, Terry. I know about the equilibrium. For City to be able to go after a repeat trouble, the laws of football don't work that way. Even when Real Madrid were in their pump, they won 3 in a row, but they weren't winning doubles. They weren't winning trebles. Something's got to give. So I hate the fact that we lost. I'm proud of the players, though, and a fury is going to be unleashed on this league. Terry, this is where I have to disagree. Hey, let me finish. This is where I have to disagree, Terry, when you were talking about you've heard City players and you've heard Pep say he'd rather be in multiple competitions. You're 100% right. But if Arsenal are only competing in the league, if Liverpool are only competing in the league, then City competing for the FA and the league is still multiple competitions and a manageable from a manager standpoint. I would never want to give an edge to either of those title chasers. And I was actually hoping if City made it through, for Arsenal to make it through. So both of our tensions have to be split and not just City. Am I going to talk about the performance though today? Haaland. A couple inches. Why did it have to hit the crossbar? KDB looked like that was a tap in. How'd you miss that? We took our chances. It didn't happen. It's Real Madrid at the end of the day. I'm going to take this and I'm going to live with it. But what else am I going to say, man? What else am I going to say?
Listen, yeah, look, I agree with a lot of what you said. But barring the playing 2 games a week thing, I still think you're the favourites to win from there. I just think, tonight you had a lot of players that dropped individually poor games. Bernardo Silva, atrocious, including his penalty. Like Jack Grealish tonight, for me, again, had what I call the Jack Grealish game, where it's loads of stuff that looks pretty, but the end result isn't there. Doku comes on 5 minutes later, you score a goal. Like there's just something about Jack Grealish. It's just the expression we have in England for him, V, is all fur coat and no knickers. That's how I see him.
I hear it. But what he brings and what Doku brings are very different. But what Pep asks of them, they're executing to what his instructions are. Every City fan though, every City fan says, Jack, we need you to shoot more. We say, Jack, we need you to take on that player in the 18-yard box a little more. Not go nuts, but we need you to do a little more. And I think that's an element of his game that's fair to criticize. Now,
yeah. But on top of that, though, I mean, I was looking at. I mean, he did shoot tonight. He had 4 shots in the game, which was only 1 less than Haaland. Foden was the only player that had more. Like Foden and KDB 6 each, so he still had a decent amount of shots. He just doesn't produce enough at the end. And Pep Guardiola had one way of playing every single game. So I don't believe in the fallacy that him and Doku play the same position, but Doku's given a completely different set of instructions to Jack Jack Grealish. I think I think they're fairly similar. I just think that one of them fatter to deceive. But loads of players are poor. Haaland knows under a lot of criticism at the minute. He dropped another stinker tonight. What was your thoughts on his performance?
When you have I'm very different from some of these other fans, Terry. I'm obviously going to be very different from how the rivals see the game. The fact that Haaland is literally a black hole on that pitch, the gravity pull that he has with defenders, I actually appreciate, and I know the difference that he's made for our club. We do not win a treble last season without him, even though he's not a player that delivered with a GA in terms of a final game. He's that important to us. Now, when a Rudiger is going to be in his pocket, or sorry, on him all day as if he was a pocket on a pair of pants, I'm going to have to deal with the other players looking for their moments. And you mentioned KDB and Foden getting 6 shots off. A large part of that is because of the attention that Haaland has. Now, the criticism from one of the greats, Thierry Henry, has said there's elements of Haaland's game that needs to evolve as well. There needs to be a little more movement. There needs to be a little more guessing of what defenders will expect of him. But I'm not classifying this as a stinker. It's not a stinker performance when I know how Pep and the players need to be positionally and how everything draws in synchronism. But I need to watch the game a second time as well, because I'll be honest with you, as I'm watching this game, I'm jumping around, I'm slapping the table. It's not like I'm looking at things.
It's hard when it's your team. It's hard. I would say this about Rudiger did well against him, but a lot of people in the build up to the game said Nacho's going to be the weak link. I thought Nacho had a sensational game. I thought he was absolutely tip top, especially in the first half. Again, took his penalty well. Also, both centre backs did. So I thought, considering, I know he's a captain, but obviously he's not. If everybody's fit, I assume he doesn't start, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. Nacho doesn't start.
Cool, that's my understanding. I don't know if I got that right. And I thought he really start. He really stepped up well tonight as in the game. Rack, obviously, I assume you were watching both games like the rest of us. What did you make of City tonight?
City are a much better team than Real Madrid. Not just this season.
I don't think
they
so.
are. They totally outplayed them today. Played them off the park. Played them off the park last season. Played them off the park the season before. The last 3 seasons, City have played Real Madrid consistently off the park, and yet somehow they've contrived to get knocked out by them twice. It doesn't make any sense. Like, don't get me wrong. I think for the first 15, 20 minutes, maybe a little bit after Madrid's goal, I thought Madrid had the possibilities of really exposing City because they looked a little bit loose at the back. But after that, Madrid could barely get out of their half. They were hardly creating anything. And I don't know. If I was a City fan, I'd be very disappointed. Not just, like I said, for the season before last, and this season, because you go away to Madrid, you scored, you come away, not just in the tie, but not behind. You've got to fancy yourself going into the Etihad to take them, because they're the reigning champions. And when they play to their maximum, I think City are the best team in the world, and somehow they haven't done it. And I'm not criticizing it, but it's just it does baffle me.
See, this is a little confusing. I don't know how you're baffled as a Liverpool fan, Rax. How are you baffled?
But the fact that I'm a Liverpool fan is irrelevant, right? The fact that I'm a Liverpool fan doesn't enter into the conversation.
Are you going to say football heritage?
No, I'm not going to say football heritage. But when Rax talks about, I'm baffled that Real Madrid end up getting a result coming to the Etihad. As a Liverpool fan, and you've experienced these exits to Real Madrid or the disappointing finals to Real Madrid, when you use the word baffle, you understand exactly what Real Madrid are.
See, this is the difference. So, can I say something here, Rack? So the difference is, and I want to make sure I'm understanding this right, you absolutely outclassed them. 33 shots. You in every single game you had against them. The 6 matches you've had against them in 3 seasons, you have been the dominant force in each of those games. To walk away from it only qualifying twice is baffling. It's different if you play Real Madrid and it's a very even game in terms of possession and chances and opportunities, and they always seem to just be the team that gets over the line. You absolutely dominated them, not in every area of the pitch. That is what I think Rack means by it's baffling, because you're so dominant of them.
Yeah, we were, and also the fact that I'm a Liverpool fan. In terms of my point, the fact that I'm a Liverpool fan is irrelevant, right? It's whether that's my opinion, whether I'm an Arsenal fan, Liverpool fan, Chelsea fan, whatever. City are a much better team than Real Madrid. I don't see a world where that's not the case. But that's why I don't understand. And I don't mean it as criticism, Vader. I'm just stunned that you guys haven't gone through. And I'm not. Honestly, I don't mean it as criticism. You know what I mean?
It could also be, Rack, an element of styles make fights. Maybe it's just something about Real Madrid just is like oil and water when it comes to this team. But Hamza's here. Waka waka. Hey, what happened tonight? No treble, baby.
I got one at least.
That's true.
Today,
we both have.
Today, I can't blame the boys. Today, Madrid, I'll say this, and I'll be honest with you. Madrid played like cowards today. Cowards. The football club that you all talk about being this heritage football club, 14 Champions League, but all these superstar players, whoever they want, came to the Etihad, and before the game, a lot of their fan base was scared. They were scared to say they're going to win. You can tell from their demeanor, from their team. They just came there to play, park the bus, and hit people on the counter. This is the great Real Madrid that you all told me that they're the best team in the world, or one of the greatest teams that we should look up to. This team came there, pathetic cowards. They sat back. Just played exactly like Luton. There was no listen. If I showed no one that knew football, I showed them the Luton game and I showed the Madrid game, you could not tell the difference of Luton and Madrid. Fact. Well, it hurts people for me to say that because it hurts people. Yeah, there was no difference. What did they do? Both defended. Unfortunately, Luton are fighting relegation probably. And these guys are La Liga champions. These guys got 14 Champions League. These guys bought 110, 20 million of Bellingham. They're about to sign Mbappe on like how much money are they going to sign Mbappe? They've signed all these top players. Apparently they got Vinicius, Rodrigo, Modric. But guess what? All these top talents were told, pack the bus. Play like Luton. We're Luton when we go to Etihad. Listen, I can't fault my boys. Because my boys came out there playing like champions. And I said in another stream, I said, listen, when you've seen in sports, when I ask anyone, who's the greatest boxer of all time? People say Muhammad Ali. No one's going to go random to a guy who sits back and gets punched and win a title. No one rates that guy. He will never be a people's
Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Are you saying no? Are you saying
like a people's champion?
Are you saying Hamza, are you saying that nobody respects Floyd Mayweather?
What? Hold on. When Floyd, at least he punches. This guy.
Floyd Mayweather is renowned for being a counter puncher.
Is he better than Muhammad Ali?
I mean, you could argue he is pound for pound, yeah.
No,
you can make the argument.
What are we doing here?
You can make the argument, undefeated.
No one will ever sell.
Even if, hang on a minute. But even if you don't think he's better than Muhammad Ali, are you telling me? Okay? Let me finish my question. Floyd Mayweather is still regarded as one of the greatest boxers of all time, and he wasn't a slugger. He wasn't a front foot fighter. He was a counter puncher, and he absorbed pressure and he sprung on people. So I just wanted to say that to you.
No, listen,
Hamza, thoughts on Bernardo Silva by any chance?
Yeah, he shouldn't have done that. That's true. Yeah. That's for a fact. But listen, my boys were. I'm proud.
What about you? Say your boys were good. What about Haaland tonight? Another disaster class from Haaland.
Haaland played. Yeah, he was poor this season. He hasn't been the same Haaland as last season. But his poor performance being 32 goals overall, which is not bad. You're not allowed. Sometimes great players, they go through this patch, yeah, and they disappear. Let's say, for example, Mbappe yesterday, without penalty, he was one of the worst players for PSG yesterday. But it doesn't mean that he's not a great player. To me, today, Haaland, yeah, I don't know this fatigue. He has to come off. KDB has to come off. Akanji has to come off. But today, Madrid were embarrassing. I swear to God, Madrid were. I don't want anyone to be praising Madrid. Don't give me a praise about Madrid. But no, don't give me praise. Don't tell me, oh, they're the biggest, they have heritage, oh, they have Madrid. They played like cowards. It's simple. They didn't show who they are. They didn't show. I did not sweat when they had the ball. Not single sweat.
Hamza, you had 33 shots.
Yeah, we had 33 shots. They at one point, guess what, Terry? I counted 9 players in the box. I thought, you're Madrid, man. You're Madrid. But you know what? We got knocked out via penalties. Via penalty.
Well, that could have been the tactic, Hamza. That could have been the tactic, and it worked.
Exactly. Tactics by Madrid. No, exactly. Tactics.
Yeah, but they won though.
But apparently the greatest football club in history.
They are.
Greatest football club in history came to a team that has won Champions League, no heritage, and decided to pack them.
This is the problem. This is the problem.
They fear us.
But of course they fear you, and this is the thing. Of course they fear you. So if they open up at your ground, play overly expansively, and attack you and leave themselves exposed, you would ruin them. And you actually sound a lot like Pep when he gets bitter, when he moans, and Klopp does this a lot as well. When they moan how opponents set up because it didn't play into their hands, Real Madrid know where they are at the moment in the football world. If they open up against a Pep Guardiola team, they're likely to get spanked. So they had to absorb you. They had to counterattack. I think it demonstrates what a fantastic team they are, that they can adapt, that they have a second plan, that they're able to play in a different way when they have to. They won't do that against Bayern Munich. They won't do that in the final if they get there, because the teams will be more evenly matched. City are the best team in the world. On their day, 110%. They dominate most sides. They're the favourites to beat most teams. But there are ways and tactics that you can beat a side, and they did that. I just think you're being a little bit bitter towards them, Hamza. You can't. It's like you can't accept the defeat, so you're trying to dampen it by slagging them off.
I'm not.
But imagine this. You use your boxing analogy. Imagine getting beaten by a coward. You got beat by cowards. How does that feel?
Yeah, exactly. And I'll give you a story that when Mike Tyson went to Japan, I think he lost some random guy that no one heard of. But that's what I'm saying. It happens in football. If someone watched the game today, they would have said, wow. And that's why I can't complain. It breaks my heart. I'm in shock. How did I go out to these cowards? Literally. I am so upset. But you know what? It's just unfortunate. That's what football does. Kevin De Bruyne could have finished his chance. He missed it. Bernardo had another chance. Bernardo shouldn't have chipped the keeper. Fair enough. But the game there, City had nearly 70% possession, popped them around. The other guys, it's just you had Townsend and Chong and Morris at Real Madrid probably, who were playing up front for them. Vinicius was quiet.
You know why you lost?
It was a good first goal though.
Yeah, very good. Do you know why you lost tonight though, Hamza? Really?
Yeah.
Because too many of your players let you down tonight. That's it.
Like who?
Bernardo Silva, Haaland, Jack Grealish, just to name a few. Phil Foden, like literally taking an air shot when he had a chance to score towards the end. Like your players didn't perform. Like you performed in terms of the approach play and dominating the ball, similarly to what Arsenal did for good chunks of their game. But when it comes to the final third, you lack the clinical edge or the final ball and even the goal you scored. It was because Rudiger messed up his clearance. Like your players weren't good enough tonight. I think you need to look closer to home, Hamza, my old mate.
I think Haaland, yeah, you're right. Haaland wasn't as great as he was. Foden had a quiet game. I think Grealish was cooking Carvajal. Grealish cooked him badly. He got him a yellow card. And every time he got the ball, I swear this is true. Go on with the replay. They had to triple up. They had to get 3 guys on him. I watched Camavinga, Bellingham, and helping out Carvajal because he was in a yellow because Grealish was cooking him. But Grealish got hooked off because Grealish is not taking on over that guy. So we brought in Doku. Doku looked like a threat. Doku was causing problems. But I think City, one thing that we need shooters. You know, against Arsenal, when you pack the bus, we used to have Yaya Toure. We would have people who would take shots. Leroy Sané would take shots. We had players that could take shots. Aguero had little chance, bang. You need those guys that are brave at shooting. We've only got KDB, Foden, We don't
Rodri.
have great
So
shooters.
Rodri as well. Wouldn't Rodri be one of those players too? Hamza?
Rodri has a
Rodri's
shot,
doing
yeah.
a 6 and an 8. He's doing
Haaland
6
likes to
and 8.
shoot. You've got quite a few.
And we
do some.
missed Erdogan again.
We're gonna do some. We're gonna do some super